All right, so I am making a pizza tonight on the Big Green Egg, and I bought these two flatbread things. You can get them at the grocery store, but they're only a couple bucks. They're pretty cheap, but I've made a lot of pizzas on the egg, and this is just about the easiest and best way to do it with these things. So, anyways, I am going to incorporate Spam into the pizza. So my buddies at work, we got this thing with Spam going lately. Not lately, it's been an ongoing thing for a few years, but if you know anything about Spam, there is a Spam museum, I believe in Minnesota somewhere, and it's in a little town, and I think that's where, well, it's definitely where they make it, but I think that's where it originated. It's like a Hormel plant or something. And everything in that town, I went on Google Earth and I looked at all the restaurants. Everything at every restaurant in that town has Spam. So there was a pizza place in that little town, and Spam is one of the toppings on the pizza. You can get like sausage, pepperoni, mushrooms, Spam, onions, whatever you want. But Spam is an option. So I always thought it would be great to make a Spam topping on a pizza. So I'm gonna partially fry it here. I'm gonna cut it into little cubes, little like small ones, and I'm gonna partially fry it, and then that's what's gonna go on the pizza. So yeah, just little cubes. I mean, they're pretty small. You can kind of tell how big that is, but they're going to shrink up when you cook them. I'm going to only partially cook them, and then I'm going to bake them when I put them on the pizza. So that's what you got to do. We're going to sauce these flatbreads up. A couple good dollops of sauce. These are actually really cheap to make too, because the bread or the crusts are only a couple bucks. Spam is cheap. Probably the cheese. I put a lot of cheese on these things, so, and the sauce is, I don't know, 99 cents. These are probably about $4 worth of ingredients on all this. Pepperoni. Definitely putting pepperoni on it. So I never put it right to the edge, because when you put it on the heat, it runs out to the edge. So I usually try to keep like about an inch on everything there. That's about right. Not too much sauce either. So, all right, well, that's the sauce stage. All right, the Spam is progressing nicely here. That's kind of what you want, little pieces. It's got a nice little crust on it now. I think that's about done. I don't want to overdo it, because it's still going to cook when you put it on the pizza. So I'm going to pull this off actually and just let it do its thing. Well, I had a little bit of a problem. I only had a half a bag of cheese. So I did have some slices of provolone. So that one's getting provolone, which provolone's pretty good on pizza, I think. But I think that's the one I'm going to do with pepperoni and Spam. That one I'm going to do just with pepperoni. That's kind of my game plan here. All right, we just added a little pepperoni. And then I'm going to add the Spam on this one and put a little cheese over top, and that'll be... All right, so here is the Spam, a little more cheese, and I put a little Parmesan on top. So I'm going to put these, I mean, you could do it in the oven. I'm going to make these on the Big Green Egg, which is like kind of a wood-fired, it's charcoal. It's a charcoal grill, so it's going to get cooked over charcoal. It's a whole process in itself. I would have to make a video how to do one of these on a Big Green Egg, because it's not as easy as just putting it in the oven, but it does make it better. Well, here's the Big Green Egg. I started it about a half hour ago. It's up to like 450. You put you set it up for indirect cooking. Woo, there it goes. Indirect cooking, so the plate setter's in there, and then you want to get the pizzas up in the dome as high as you can. So I have that riser in there on that rack. So it'll sit up in here in the dome when it's cooking. But I also have a big giant piece of steel that goes in there, and that's it's like a cooking stone, except it's made out of steel. So that's what goes up here, and that's what the pizzas are going to go on. So I actually closed it down a little bit. I don't want it to be, it was over 1,000 degrees when I put that in there. It should settle out. I want it to be probably around 500 when it's all said and done, when everything heats up. So here's my pizza stone, and it is like a 1/4 inch piece of just steel. The place that sells them is it's called bakingsteel.com, and I treat it pretty much just like I do my cast iron. So you just gotta season it, and it works like a big giant piece of cast iron. But it's a cooking stone. You can do cookies on it. You can use it in the oven. But anyways, this one it's been sitting out in the egg, and that's not rust. It just needs some cooking debris. I need to warm it up, get it up to like room temperature, and oil it, and we'll come back to that. Alrighty, there they are. So I'm gonna go check on the egg and hopefully put them on there here real soon. Alrighty, this sucker is ripping at like 500 degrees. So I'm gonna go get the pizzas and bring them out. Alright, so there they are. That thing is ripping at 500 degrees. I'm gonna probably dampen it down a little bit. I don't need it quite that hot, so I'm gonna close it up and let it do its thing. If it'll close, I gotta resituate things. Well, people ask, can you use a big green egg in the wintertime? And I always say, yeah. It's actually snowing out right now, so yeah, it's one of my favorite times to use it. So we're gonna check on this thing. Ooh, yeah, looking good. All right, let's close her back up. I think I'm gonna actually shut it down and just let the radiant heat from the thing do its thing. Here's the finished product right here. And I love butcher paper. Butcher's paper is one of the greatest things ever invented for the kitchen. You put it down and you put whatever you want on it. So I already put a little bit of Parmesan on that one, just regular old Parmesan. And I put a little on this one. I love putting Parmesan on it because it soaks up a little bit of the grease on it. And I'm debating how I should cut these. I think I'm going to cut them into like rows like that. I think that's what I'm going to do. So let's see. Yep, just how I thought it would happen. I'm just making nice little rows out of them. And there's those. And then we're going to do this one. Like 1, 2, let's see. All right, so there is the final product right there. You can be the judge. I think it looks pretty fantastic. So I'm going to grab my finest china and go into the barcade and enjoy a couple slices of Spam pizza. So the one missing ingredient is a little crushed red pepper that I just sprinkled on there. Oh, come on, man. How does it get any better than that? Right, so here is the moment of truth. I'm sitting in the barcade, and we're going to try some of this pizza. I'm trying to relive 1985. Woo! All right, let's see how this is. Looks pretty fantastic to me. All right, here we go. The moment of truth. I'm going to try one of the Spam pieces first. Oh yeah. Oh, it's fantastic. Got the crushed red pepper. The saltiness from the Spam on there is fantastic. It's kind of like putting ham or bacon on a pizza, I guess. And you can taste the smokiness from the cooking it on the egg. It's really fantastic. Now, I'm going to eat the hell out of this thing and probably set a world record at Donkey Kong here in a bit. It's pretty damn good. Darn good. I mean, here's the one with all the Spam on it. The other piece was just an edge one. Oh man. I'm telling you, I've made homemade crust. I bought the pre-made crust. I bought the Boboli ones. Those flatbread ones like that make the best pizzas on the egg. I don't know what it is, but they are fantastic. And it's got a little bit of the heat, and it's got a little bit of the saltiness from the Spam. Oh man. Yep, it's just as good as I thought it would be. Man. It's got the wood, the smokiness from cooking it out on the egg. Oh man. If I could box that up and sell it, I'd probably quit my job. Maybe.